Millie, what you got? Is it the first day of Borkmas? Technically, kind of. It's actually the morning after.
Hi, my name is Chandler. I'm a recovering attorney and an avid adventurer.
And I'm Ashton, former nanny. I don't know what else I want to be. We're gonna figure it out.
And this is our dog Millie. She is a 1-year-old Scottish Terrier with a lot of personality. For years, we were working the corporate grind in New York City. Even though we were making a lot of money and living what many people would consider to be the high life, we often found that free time was non-existent. That's where Vandit came in. Vandit is a 1999 Dodge Ram van conversion. Now we are traveling the country trying to steal as many tomorrows as we can before the real world catches up.
For the first day of Borkmas, Millie Bean, you get the Gingy.
Getting diagnosed with COVID after returning from Tulsa was quite frankly like a kick in the gut. We had nearly missed the train when we got back from Tulsa, so we left the van in a very disorganized state because we were planning on returning 5 days later. Now, we were faced with a mandatory 10-day quarantine period, which given our work schedules meant that the van would sit unattended for at least 2 weeks. However, in addition to being sick, we were left with a new problem. Winter had come.
This is Millie's first ever experience with snow. Millie, what day is it? Is it the 5th day of Borkmas? Sit. Good girl.
Fortunately for Millie, we had impulse bought a full doggy Christmas cookie platter prior to leaving for Tulsa. So we were able to give Millie a treat for each of the 25 days of Borkmas. This was really one of the few bright spots in a rough time, so we can thank Millie for keeping her spirits up. Despite its reputation, our limited experience with New York winter was that snowy days were actually limited. For reference, New York City, on average, has snow on fewer days than Paris, France. This was not the case this year.
It's the 14th day of Borkmas, which means, Millie, you get a gingerbread man. You didn't have to go up.
Finally, after 10 sick days, we could emerge from quarantine. The first weekend after our quarantine was a full-on blizzard, so we decided to delay another week with the expectation that the weather would be better for us to start the van, given its past problems with the cold. Yeah, we weren't having much luck with the weather. Just before returning to the van, we were struck with yet another blizzard, even worse than the previous one. Even Millie, who it turns out loves the snow, wasn't too sure about venturing out in this weather, and quite frankly, Ashton and I weren't too thrilled either. However, after 3 weeks away, we realized that we couldn't wait another weekend to see the van. The snow had also stopped, so we loaded up and headed back to Peekskill. The train ride north was actually beautiful in the snow. Unfortunately, our time in Peekskill was pretty miserable. The Vandit's battery was completely dead, so we had to rely on complete strangers to help us jump the car. Their car had an odd battery setup, so the process took about a half an hour. And the Good Samaritan scratched his hand in the process. We didn't really get to know you, but if you're watching this, kind strangers, the dumb 20-somethings in the black van are still very grateful for your help. After sorting out the battery, we had to drive 80 miles in the freezing cold, remember our van has no heat, in order to successfully complete our emissions test. Wet, cold, and exhausted, Ashton and I headed back to New York without really getting any videos, but with a lot to celebrate.
This is Ashton's 26th birthday.
Just like we got through everything else.
Oh, we have cake. Cake for Ashton's 26th birthday. Welcome to Christmas Eve, the Harris household.
We just enjoyed our candlelit Christmas Eve dinner. Ashton's hitting a sparkling cider bottle pretty hard. Can't help herself. This has been a pretty crazy year. I mean, for everybody. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we've gone from fully into a law firm a year or so ago, and now we're van owners on the brink of starting a lot of travel. Christmas has always been my favorite time of year. I love the way people come together, even in an oddball year like 2020. However, after our Thanksgiving experience, we decided that Christmas was just going to be the three of us this year, and it was truly a joyful couple of days.
Millie? It's like, I don't know. What is it? Millie?
Whoa.
Okay guys, welcome to New York City. Christmas life. We've got a messy kitchen, but we're making some progress, so I'm pretty excited about that.
These potatoes.
That's not bad. Okay, we have got some sweet potatoes, some chicken, some cheesy potatoes, and some rolls. All of that put together, I think, is going to make for a wonderful Christmas dinner. Guys, final product. What do you think, Ashton?
It looks good.
I promise I'll show up when your life's too rough. If you wanna have me there, I know I'm like a walk in space. No matter how you talk with me, you never know what's up.
After an insane December, it felt good to be able to hop back on the train and head up north to our favorite spot on Blue Mountain Reservation.
It's a little bit.
If you're getting sick of these endless train rides, just know that we were too at this point. Our plan for travel had always been simple. Work until at least the end of March, and preferably until April, and then arrange to begin van life. We hoped that these short day trips to the mountain would keep our thirst for adventure satiated, and for a while it did. Ashton and I made numerous trips to Blue Mountain over the course of December and January, where the weather had shifted from fall leaves to ice and snow.
I'm so gone.
We just saw a bright red fox from that hill.
So gone in you. I'm falling for you.
What did you call it?
I think her.
So gone, I'm so gone, I'm so gone, I'm so gone in you. Every kiss you give me turns to mist. When we're breathing out, I'm used to being in the shade. So when you turn to me, I get blinded.
All right, guys, we've got New Year's Eve 2020. The next year's gonna be insane. Happy New Year 2021, guys. Mwah. Give me a kiss, Millie. Mwah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Mercedes-Benz.
This is the not so fun part of travel life. Our apartment is a stinking mess. There is stuff all over the place. We're trying to sell everything, I guess. So that's an experience. But is a good news. We're getting rid of our dresser drawers. We got rid of our bookshelf over there, and we supposedly have a buyer for our other bookshelf, for our couch, for both our nightstands. Is there one for my set of dresser drawers too, hon?
I have not confirmed with any of them, but yes, there's like 8.
Yeah. New York, really easy to sell your stuff. That's the joy of the city. Like, you put some stuff at a reasonable price and you're going to sell it. I mean, we listed this stuff this morning and it's like 3 p.m.
But just it's like a bass drum pounding, and you're a perfect sound made for breaking silence. Yeah, yeah. I wanna know, are you feeling close tonight?
After New Year's Eve, the world just seemed a little bit brighter, and Ashton and I were already chomping at the bit to go on our next outdoor adventure and our new favorite lakeside spot near Blue Mountain.
I'm falling for you. I'm so gone in you.
Why can't you get it, Millie?
I'm falling for you. I'm so gone.
How you doing, Millie? How you doing? She's certainly gotten over her fear of water.
We had so much fun on these trips that our original schedule started to look more and more realistic. Surely we could handle the rest of winter and wait for spring to head south, right? I mean, New York usually only gets a couple of big blizzards a year, so surely we must be at our quota, right? Right?
Got that!
It is windy and cold out here. This has definitely been the worst weather we've ever hiked in, but we're having fun.
Once again, the weather started to turn against us. Don't get me wrong, I love the snow, and this is part of living in New York, but it was still a bit tiring.
Millie, what's happening? Oh, no.
Good girl. Good girl. Nice to share you.
The awful weather mixed with a combination of factors, including our run-in with COVID and ever-increasing work demands. Honestly, we were just feeling a bit burnt out, and this led Ashton and I to fantasize more and more about an escape and warmer weather. Despite the awful weather, we still had a blast hiking in the mountains. The snow was beautiful, and we basically had the mountain to ourselves because of the cold weather. Even so, we were both tired. So after a series of long conversations while we walked, Ashton and I both agreed to adjust our plans.
is it? What is it? Ready to go? Yeah.
My goodness. Someone's ready to go. So, it's getting pretty cold up here.
I'll bet.
It's February, and the van's having trouble starting, and the Millie is actually having lots of fun.
First time off leash.
First time off leash. Our original plan when we got the van was to stay at work until the beginning of spring, and then in April or May head down south and start touring the national parks. But just given everything, you know, it's cold here, and I think we're ready for something new. So, Ashton, you want to tell them where we're going to be for the next couple months? Florida. We're headed to Tampa.
Yeah, nice and warm.
Nice and warm. We're not going to have to deal with all this everything.
Yeah, it's just all the cold.
I mean, it is beautiful. This little lake we like to go around is just, it's awesome to walk around, but we think it's time for us to kick this journey off into real high gear. So we'll still be filming for the next couple weeks while we pack up. We'll show you that process, and then it's down to the Sunshine State for some warm weather and to see how Millie handles the beach. So, you excited, sweetie?
Yes.
There she is.
Very excited.
Woohoo!
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and a comment. It really helps our channel out. Also, please subscribe and ring that notification bell to see more of our adventures.
I was going for the serene shot here, but Millie decided it was going to be a dog shot. All right, it's yep.